So we talked last week that we're buying cash properties, cash deals in a handful of places. So when I come to a new city, I wanna do like a quick, where are people buying houses? Are flips happening? So I'm gonna look real fast and I'm just gonna see what's being sold. And obviously, this is kind of the heart of Savannah. So this is where the bulk of deals are being sold. There's a little pocket down here. There's another pocket over here. And then kind of scattered in here. So, I mean, you can see there's a lot of green. This is
Mhm.
not, there's not a lot of people buying and selling houses here. Then I'm going to also look at rent, like where are the rental areas? Again, heavy,
Mhm.
heavy here in the heart of the city. And then I'm going to come in. Whoop. Yeah. Before I do that, I want to see what's for sale. Okay, there's a lot listed for sale right now in Savannah. So this is a great place you can start building some connections. All right.
Mhm.
Like I was
Yeah.
talking about with Kathy, with giving something time, I would just focus on one city right now. If you wanted
Okay.
to look at the cities that we're buying in
Mhm.
Georgia, it's
Uh-huh.
Augusta area, Savannah area, and Macon areas. Just for the purposes of this, like this is where we're looking. So
Okay.
just make sure that there's houses listed on the market. Make sure that
Okay.
there's houses being sold. Oh, I should have said, sorry, I already have it set to it, but no more than 6 months.
Okay.
Time frame for sold in the last. If you come over to this more, I just use Zillow because I'm the most familiar with Zillow, but you could use any of the other Redfin
Okay.
or,
Yeah.
but
I'm
make sure that you have the sold in the last date no more than 6 months out. Because if
okay.
I were to set this thing to 3 years, it really skews my metrics here. So I'm just gonna start in a city and I'm gonna go 3 bed just for the sake of this. I'm gonna make sure it's more than 3 beds. And because there's so much going on here, this is really dense. I don't want to see that many houses. I'm gonna go forward in time. So I'm gonna go to 30 days. Let's see what 30 days looks like. There's a lot
Uh,
here in 30 days. I'm gonna try to comp a 3 and 4 bed properties right now, starting out. That way, when
uh,
I start looking for deals that are on the market, I have a very good sense of what something in this area is going to sell. So this is just the starting of like we'll call it market analysis. And so you're
mhm.
going to do this with this area here. And I would start just maybe takes you a week. Maybe it takes you 3 weeks to get
Mhm.
through this little area. Let's just do this area first. Then I'm going to come out and I'm going to maybe
Okay.
come down here. I'm going to look through this area and I'm going to look through this area. But start with where the most dense, where are all the deals really happening at? And this is,
Okay.
for me, this is what I'm seeing. So I'm looking
Okay.
here. I'm going to knock out the outliers, $1.3 million. That's not, that's an outlier for us.
Oof.
Um, oh, before I actually do that, I'm going to go a median price in Savannah.
So are you looking at the square footage as well
We
with
will
the
be,
three
yeah.
columns?
So median home price is 300,000, we'll call it, in Savannah.
Okay. Okay.
Typically for us, we're not trying to buy anything that's more than 10 or 15% higher than the median home price because we don't want to limit our buyers pool when we're doing fix and flips. If a $600,000 home price is not something we're going to be looking at because it just limits our buyer pool a little bit.
Okay.
Typically in markets. So I'm seeing like this area really looks like that median home price is pretty 3 bed, 2 bath,
Yeah.
290 square feet. I mean, 290,000. This is a pretty single family starter homes. This one just sold a couple weeks ago, 290,000.
90.
Let's see, this is for sale. So this
It
was a
was rated.
rental. Yeah, they
Yeah.
had it as a
Rated.
rental for a couple years at
Yeah.
least. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if they went in and did any fixing up to it, but there's nothing like wonderful about this house. It's just a
Mhm.
clean house, right?
It's clear.
Like clean floors, paint.
Like I say, they're mostly they're probably mostly rentals
Yep.
before they decide to put it up to sell. Kitchen is
So this just gives
kitchen.
us, this is going
Yeah.
to give us a general idea of what a $300,000 house is selling or what a $300,000 house looks like inside. Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
you noticed at least on that one, There's no granite countertops. There's no
Yeah.
like fancy vanities or anything like that. There's, like you're
Mhm.
saying, it's just a clean house on the inside. It's either
Yeah.
a rental or a starter home for somebody. See, this
Mhm.
one has a stand-up shower. This one looks like it has granite. So
Yeah.
there, oh no, no,
Okay. It
this is just
look pretty neat.
yeah, clean, just like
Yeah.
updated. This one
Mhm.
screams flip to me.
But looking at the pictures, even though it's granite tops, you don't know if it's the real granite tops or the imitation. 'Cause
I don't think
sometimes
this
that
one is
can,
based on the sink.
yeah.
I think this is just the Formica because
Okay.
when you see the sink overlaid like this, it's not
Yeah.
granite.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can lay the sink like that over granite.
Yeah.
So there, this is kind of.
Okay.
I don't really need to do a whole lot more research here. Here, see, this one does
Yeah.
have granite. See how the sink is underlaid underneath this
Right.
top?
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay. I see
that's
the
all
difference.
granite.
Okay.
Um, but
Okay.
again, like nothing super exciting here. They just came in
Mhm.
and cleaned this house up, put some granite countertops in there, probably painted the cabinets, maybe. Oh, these are new cabinets.
So,
So,
yeah.
um,
New
mm,
appliances.
so
Okay.
house needs to be updated, but we're gonna get around 300,000 for these houses.
So how many comps do you use to kind of
When you have this many sold properties in the area, 2 to 3 is what we're already always shooting
okay,
for comps. It like a lot of the times when we talk about crossing over major streets,
right,
highways, you typically
right,
don't wanna do that, but everything in
right,
this area looks like it's very similar. Um,
okay,
right? I just kinda getting a general sense of it. They're all little, nice little clean houses.
mm,
It's the ones
yeah,
that are considerably bigger, uh,
mhm.
the extra bedroom, but considerably bigger that are um, getting these higher prices.
When you copy, you have the subject property, and when you copy, maybe you probably have about two houses. There's going to be something different
Yeah.
about those two houses that's not going to be the same as your subject property. And I've had that issue before, even though the houses had been renovated, there's something about that particular house or those particular houses that are totally different. It may be a little bigger, it may have more rooms, like your subject property may be 2, 3 bedrooms, but your comps are three, so I don't know when they comp the house, did they add an extra uh bathroom to it or extra bedroom,
Yeah.
when once they comped it and
So typically when we're comping, we want to, like you're saying, we want to get as close to the square footage, the
mhm,
bed and the bath as possible.
mhm,
We want to get as close to like the lot size as possible. We want to get as
right,
close to the year as possible, like the year built. So if something was built
right,
in 1950, it's a lot different than a 2010
right,
built. Um,
right,
that being said, like there is some flexibility. If something was built in 1950, but your comp is in 1959, those are pretty the
mhm,
same age.
right, right,
And then kind of same with square footage, like, hey, my subject property is 1350, but this comp that I'm looking at is 1410. All right, that 60 square feet isn't going to make that big of a difference in the price. Right now,
mhm,
what we're doing is we're just trying to get a really good sense of what
mhm,
what I'm going to be able to shoot for as far as ARV. Once we found the
okay,
property and once we've gotten in a conversation with the realtor and we have like some solid numbers, we're going to
mhm,
go back and recomp. We're just trying to get
okay,
a sense of this little area right here, what something's gonna list for,
okay,
because we're gonna now go to for sale. Okay.
okay,
These $2.6 million, I can throw them away. And I can even come over here and go maximum,
right,
400. Yeah, I'd maybe go like 400 in this
okay,
sense or in this instance, just because there's always room for negotiation. Not always,
right,
but when we're talking about subject to, there's not typically room for negotiation because
mhm,
there's an underlying mortgage that needs to be paid off. But
right,
I could come into this house, I could look at this house, and I could say, I could run my numbers and say, I can't pay 370 for this house, but I could pay 295. And I
Mm.
make an offer. And if you make enough of those offers, somebody's going to come back and say yes. So I don't want to
Okay.
throw away things too
Mhm.
early. So that's
Right.
why we did so I took it above the median home price. Now, what we're
Okay.
looking for, we're not looking for something that's fixed up already.
Right.
We're looking for something that needs some work. So my
Okay.
eyes immediately go to 160,
Right.
59, 85,
Mhm. Mhm.
130,
Right.
right? This is where I'm going to start. And these are the conversations. These are the first people I'm calling.
Okay.
I'm going to call this realtor and I'm going to have a conversation with them. Hey, you've been listed on Zillow for 17
Mhm.
days. What's the
Mhm.
process been going like? How is it going? What's the feedback
Mhm.
you've been getting from buyers? This property needs some
Okay.
work.
Right.
Do you have any
Okay.
idea what it's going to cost me, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor, to fix this up? Have you gotten
Right.
any estimates from contractors? Let's have a conversation. And from
Okay.
your perspective, I try, especially when I'm talking to realtors, but even when I'm talking to sellers, I don't want to mislead them. So
Mm.
if I were you and I'm calling a realtor or I'm calling a seller, I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm calling on behalf of my buyers.
Mhm.
This is the
Okay.
property they're looking for. They're very interested in properties like this."
Okay.
So now you're building a relationship with this agent. I'm using the property as a reason to be calling,
Okay.
if that makes sense. I'm not,
Right.
some people do agent outreach where they just call every agent that's
Yeah.
available in the area. I don't want to
Right.
do that because
Right.
90% of the agents that have a license are not doing deals. I want to call the ones that's doing deals.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
So this is where I would start is I would start with these ones that, so now you
Mhm.
have one, let's see here. I want to
Yeah.
go here and I want to look and see, does this house is there any value add? This one for sure there's value. 160.
Okay.
This one, oh yeah, I was going to say there's not even a house. This one for sure there's value add.
Mhm.
Okay. Look, there's not even
Mm.
price increase. Wait, what? That's unusual.
Price increase?
Yeah, now I'm curious. Typically, when a house is sitting on the market, they don't increase the price. This is interesting. Like from an investor standpoint, like I immediately see this and go, well, they're at least willing to do 150. Why would I even offer them 160?
Well, those
Yeah.
dates are backwards too, Nathaniel. The drop was on 10/29 or 10, and then 10/29 and then 10/9 was the 164. So
Yeah, this is when they started,
Yeah.
and then they dropped
oh,
it.
got
They
it.
dropped
It's
it. They
reversed.
dropped it, and then
Got
they
it.
just increased it for some reason. Like, wait a second, you
So
didn't
weird.
sell it already. But
Mhm.
my thinking is maybe they think, because this is right after the Fed,
It's after the election
it's
too.
after the election, and I think this is right after the Fed changed the rates. So maybe they're thinking, oh, buyers are coming back in, let's increase it. But
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
maybe they think that most buyers aren't going to look back and see what the history was. But I see price increase and I go, well, what were you at? Um,
Okay.
so this is where I would start, Shirley, is
Okay.
come here,
Mhm.
pull this down to three. I would even go down to two,
Mhm.
2 bedrooms. If you're looking at something that's a 2 bedroom, I'm going to use exact match just so we can pull specifically. So
Okay.
on Zillow here, you can click this little box and it'll show you only the ones that you have checked. So only 2 beds.
Okay.
If I
Okay.
unclick it, you see it says 2+.
Okay. So you do the 2+, that's gonna include the 3 bedrooms anyway.
Correct. Yep. It includes everything
Okay.
that has more than two. Just for this,
Okay.
I wanted to show you just as some examples.
Okay.
Uh, we
Okay.
we love we love 2 bedrooms that are over 1,000 square feet
Okay. Two
because
bed.
yeah, because typically I can go add a bedroom in that 1,000 square feet
Okay.
somewhere. Not typically, but a lot of the times I can. And
Okay.
I can increase the value 10 to 15% just by doing that.
Okay. So it's only adding the additional bedrooms and not baths.
Right. Yeah. Going
Okay.
from a 2-1 to a 3-1 increases the value. Going from a 3-1
Okay.
to a 3-2 increases the value.
Okay.
Typically,
Okay.
it's a lot easier to add a bedroom than it is
Mhm.
a bathroom.
Okay. So the property is more like over 1,000 square feet, maybe
Yeah, just
between.
because you
Okay.
need that square footage to be able to add a bedroom and not really screw the house up. Um,
Okay.
this one looks like the Jumanji house.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
allowed to show.
This look like it's in downtown somewhere.
Yeah, it's right across the big
Savannah.
drive. Um, but I
I
just
see
wanted to show you. Yeah, so neither of
Look.
these two
Yeah.
bedrooms that I see right here would be super interesting. I mean, maybe this one, but I'm gonna guess that this
Yeah.
one's already fixed up. Yeah,
Yeah. It look
based
like
on
it.
oh well,
Okay.
nice carpet for sure. Yeah, what the heck?
Oh. Oh wow. The door's off.
Yeah, and like look at the stains on the carpet
Ooh.
and paint. Well,
Something been sitting there for a long time.
yeah, probably just had it
Kitchen
as
needs done.
they had it
Oh,
as a rental or they lived in this thing for a long time and they don't have the money
yeah.
to do it. Yeah, this thing could get some updates. Yeah,
Oh
this
wow.
one might be worth.
And that's a 2-1?
Yeah,
Wow.
this could be worth calling.
Huh.
You
But
know,
it's
it needs a lot of work though. It looks cute, but not so much from the back.
yeah. That's a lot on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't judge
So
the book by its cover.
no, no. I mean, that's why I wanted to look at them and see.
Um,
Um, it's this one.
okay. So looking at the property that's in a particular area that needs to be renovated, that's for sale. But
These,
then when you go back and you do sold and see what's sold in that same area, those are what you're going to use for your comp, depending on whether or
correct.
not they've been renovated. Right. Okay.
But this one, I think that
Oh,
I have a feeling. Price is doesn't
yes.
say doesn't say it in the listing here.
Oh, this is in
I
a
just have a
part.
sneaking sensation that this one, because they're listed by the same realtor,
Oh,
and this one are a package deal.
oh,
I just have a sneaking sensation.
they're
But
on the same
maybe he
street. Can hardly
they're
see
not
them.
on the same street, but just
Oh,
there's something telling me they had the price cut at the same day. They're listed by the
oh,
same realtor. They're both 2-1s. It could be just that they think, hey, that's what these houses are worth, and we're just
okay.
gonna be uniform with them. But I have a feeling like I would have a
Okay.
conversation with this guy too. Sure.
Okay.
Um,
And that's
so
uh, 24.
essentially now we've gotten to the point where we can start making phone calls.
Okay.
So that's what I would start with is starting to make phone calls.
Okay.
Um, and having conversations where you're trying to just kind of ask what's going on with
Okay.
the property, especially if the house has been sitting on the market for, more than
Mm,
a week or two, 10 days or
okay.
more. Because now
Okay.
they've had some time to get feedback or no feedback, because no feedback is
Okay.
also feedback. Like, hey, what the
Okay.
heck? I should have seen something by now. Somebody
Right.
said something. Um, but have
Okay.
conversations with realtors. Um, the
Okay.
I think we talked about this last week, but like we're trying to get these realtors to bring us deals ultimately.
Okay.
So it's about having conversations with them about the specific property, but then towards the end of the conversation, hey, like this is what we're looking for. If you have any other deals
Right.
or
Right.
anything else kind of comes up that fits these criteria, that's what we're
Criteria.
looking for.
Okay.
So
Oh,
from here, we need to start in order for you to start coming up with offers.
oh.
We need to have a formula to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Formula that we follow is, I think we talked about last week, is 70% minus
Okay.
repairs. Okay, so we're going to go back to just as a roundabout number. We're going back to our, let's see, this is a little bit smaller, so we probably wouldn't use the full 300 here. Maybe we'd use like 275. That's a benefit of having that price per square foot number.
Mm-hmm.
which, like, if you go to where it was sold, I skipped it. It shows you the price per square foot right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one's
Okay.
175. Remember, this is a 4.2. It's a bigger, it's a
Right.
bigger house. But 175 dollars per square foot. Let's find a 3. This is a 3.3, so this one was 215 per square foot. And that one that I just looked at was a 3.1, I believe.
Oh.
Okay, so I have,
Yeah.
200,000 is what I ultimately think this house is going to be worth once it's fixed up. Okay, because
Okay.
it's a smaller house. I
Uh-huh.
if I had to guess, I'm saying I would guess it's probably going to go a little bit higher than that, but we like to be conservative with our numbers. Now I got to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what this thing's going to cost for us to repair, for us to bring it up to kind of 2025 standards as we 25. Looking through this house, it for sure needs kind of cosmetics throughout the entire house.
Right.
Is it going to need anything else? I don't know. That's what our due diligence period is for. But
Mm-hmm.
we're $5 per square foot for flooring. We're close to $5 per square foot for painting. Okay,
Okay.
that's the entire house. This is going to need a kitchen. It's a small kitchen, so it's not going to be super expensive, but let's say $7,000 for the kitchen.
Okay.
Okay, and this is stuff you're going to get kind of as you do more, and this we can talk about. I just want to get you started here.
Okay.
Um, I'm looking at like this is a little
Oh,
concerning. What's going on here? So I would pick these
oh,
things out. I want to look at the pictures as I'm dialing the realtor. I'm going to
right.
look at these pictures and I'm going to try to pick some things out. Hey, what's going on with the windowsill here? Is there any
Mm-hmm.
water coming in? Is there any leaking coming in through the roof? Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this kind of, I'm going to call this out right here. I see some issues in the laundry area. What's
Yeah.
going on with this foam insulation coming out of the piping area? What's
Yeah.
going on with the floor there? Is there mold? I'm just trying to
Mm-hmm.
pick the realtor's brain. What the heck is
Okay.
this here? Can you see my
Look
mouse?
like a phone. Look like a
Oh, like a phone jack, maybe? Yeah,
yeah.
I
Like
guess.
that. What it looked like.
Yeah.
Well, they got something else on the other side next to the cabinet.
Oh, yeah, that's a phone jack.
There's something up there.
Um, there's no fridge, there's no appliances at all. It's
There's no
really little
stuff.
kitchen.
Nothing.
So depending on
Bye, Kathy. You have a good day.
see you, Kathy. We'll talk about goals next week.
Oh gosh, what's the stove? There's no appliances or
So
nothing.
if I had to guess here, which we're just doing a quick estimate on what the rehab is going to be on this house.
Uh,
40,000.
mm,
Okay, because I have I have paint throughout the entire house. I have flooring throughout the entire house. I have a kitchen. They're not showing the bathroom, at least that I saw. So I'm assuming there's going to be a bathroom. So 3,500 to $5,000. Okay, and then I need to do. There's definitely
the
siding.
siding,
Yep,
yeah, siding.
like pressure wash the whole house. Let's see what I actually need to replace here. I see some stuff like lifting up. I don't have any side. Well, is this the
That's the back. You like the
backyard?
backyard.
Yeah, here, I mean, here's the back of the house. So same thing, maybe just,
Oh, the unit, that HB right there
yeah,
needs to be replaced.
these are all, see, you're
Yeah,
noticing it. These are all things that I'm going to talk to them. When's that thing been last replaced? How old is that? Is it blowing? Is there central heated
yeah,
air? All those
right.
questions like you're going to ask, but build a relationship with this realtor. And then I don't know if you know, oh, see, this guy had that other house listed too. This is the
Oh
same
yeah, the
realtor.
other house.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is maybe somebody that you really want to build a relationship here locally. So if
Okay.
he's got 3 listings, um, including these two,
Okay.
including these two beds. Um,
And the other one. 20. Oh,
Sorry, I'm clicking around real fast. Um,
same. Mm,
but yeah, all these ones that typically if house doesn't have pictures, I want to call them. They're
mm,
hiding something. They're not telling me something
yeah,
going on
yeah.
inside the house.
Mhm.
And then just building a relationship with Yolanda. Right.
Okay.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Wholesale.
Yep. Here's another
Mm,
one. Like this one's not going to
okay.
have any pictures. I've been doing it long enough that when you see a picture like this,
Yeah,
that's something's going on here.
they want you to. It's like a teaser to get you to call them because they know
Yeah,
you
I
want to
mean,
know more
and let's
about it.
call him. Let's see. That's
Yeah,
Kareem. Hey, what's going on with this
it's
house?
great. Yeah,
Like, it's built in
25
1920. There's
cardboard.
some stuff going on inside. It's listed at
Yeah,
$145 a square foot.
cardboard
It's a
street.
little house,
Yeah,
right?
but
It's
three
small.
bedrooms.
Yeah, it's small. It's a small house, but you can see people are buying 3-bed houses, three ones. They're just not. They're the ones that are going for,
Yeah.
180,000 instead of 300,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like 20.
Um.
Okay.
Okay. 4 minutes left.
Okay.
That was a really fast. What questions do you have?
Oh, you gave me the city. You said Augusta, Savannah, and what was the other one?
Macon.
Macon. Okay.
And let me show you here. Too is if I type in, it's going to be the same thing for Savannah. If I zoom out here, I have Savannah proper, but because I have, oh wait, hold on, I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah. Because I have Savannah, can you see my screen?
I see it.
Because I have Savannah clicked here in the search bar. If I unclick
Mhm.
it, it's going to open up all the properties surrounding Savannah.
Right.
So even though I say Savannah, we're open
Mhm.
to Garden City, right? The surrounding areas. Um,
Mhm.
right? We would go out here because look, there's a little pocket here of people where people are buying and selling houses. Maybe
Okay.
like maybe they're stuff, but yeah, these are all the so they just probably built this neighborhood and
Well, okay.
it's not that new.
So, okay.
So I would, the same thing for Augusta. If I go to Augusta, Georgia, you can see this is the city limits of Augusta.
Yeah.
So it's only going to show me properties that are in Augusta. But like I would be
Mhm.
missing this. And this is a little pocket of Augusta that actually, if I unclick it, you'll see
Mhm.
houses are being sold there.
Okay.
And then it's not showing me Evans, Georgia. But like basically when you take the city of Augusta, and when I say a
Mhm.
city, just like 15, 20 minutes inside the city circle, right?
Mhm.
Because all this area up in Grovetown over here, this is all
Mhm.
good. All this down here, this is called Hepzibah. You see Hepzibah?
Right.
Like
Right.
this is like Northern Hepzibah. We love this. We flipped a couple houses down here.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
like I wouldn't go way out here, right? Right?
Right.
But you can
Right.
tell that by, hey, there's only one house that's sold out
Okay. This
here,
is
right?
like a rural area.
Yeah, but you like when I come over here, you can see, oh man, there's houses being sold here. And remember,
Right.
this is only 30 days too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I had changed that early on in our conversation. So, this is promising. If I was just coming into this market, there's people buying and selling houses here, right?
Okay.
So when I say it's the same thing for Macon, any city that for me as a buyer, any city that I say we're like look in the surrounding areas too,
Okay.
because these are the people that go work in Macon but don't want to live in Macon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is a 10 or 15-minute drive into the city. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to live in the suburb or whatever. Oh, actually, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Robins Air Force Base. So these are probably people at Air Force Base. Um,
Yeah. They live there. Yeah. Working at the air war base. Yeah.
so
Okay.
that's what that's what I would
Two.
say.
Okay. So all the properties that you're looking for in these cities are over 2 bedrooms and over 1,000 square feet.
Yeah, if it's a two bed,
Okay.
if it's a two bed, we would
Mhm.
we would want it to be over 1,000 square feet. I would say,
Okay.
like, don't think too much about the specific details of like
Mhm.
property. Yeah, you don't want to be calling one bed houses that are 500 square feet. You don't want to be
Mm,
calling on 6 bed houses that are $1 million. But
mhm.
if it's a two bed and it's 950 square feet, call on it and
Mhm.
build the relationship.
Right. Right.
And you can even start like, hey, you know what? I don't think this is going to fit my buyer's
Criteria.
criteria because it is
Mhm.
under 1,000 square feet, but I just wanted to call and introduce myself. I'm Shirley.
Mhm.
I represent a couple buyers that are really interested in buying more
Mhm.
properties in the area that they can do some value add to. And I wanted to have a conversation with you. Can we talk about this one a little bit? And
Okay.
then have a conversation and build a little bit rapport with them. And then
Mhm.
um do you have a CRM?
No, I don't.
Okay. So I would start with an Excel sheet. This
Mhm.
is how I started. This is how I recommend people to start because when you're just getting
Okay.
started, it's not too overwhelming, but like put the day you called somebody. So have a handful of columns. You're going to have the day you first met them or first
Okay.
called them. If you start
Okay.
today, 12/26, put their name, put their phone number. If they
Mhm.
have an email address, put their email address.
Okay.
Have a little notes column that you can write some notes on what you talked
Notes.
about. If you called
Right.
about a specific property, like you can start to build the thing out a little bit as you call
Right.
people.
Mhm.
And then if you have a conversation with them or don't, but when I started out, I made a column for call back and I would put a date in there.
Okay.
So when I
Okay.
opened up my Excel file, this was my CRM when I first started out was an Excel sheet. Um,
Okay.
I could look down and see I actually made a format or I made a formula so it would highlight the day's date.
Mhm.
So I knew
Okay.
today I got to call these people that are highlighted.
Okay.
So now you have a follow-up funnel. So
Okay.
I don't want to call Shirley once, have a great conversation with her, build rapport, and then never call her again.
Right. Okay.
I want to have like maybe this property's not fit for
Mhm.
whatever reason. I want to call
Mhm.
you back in a month. If if I had a good conversation about the specific property and maybe they just need
Mhm.
time, I want to call you back
Okay.
in a week. Hey, we talked a week ago, Shirley, about 123 Main Street. It
Mhm.
seemed like your seller wasn't ready to accept an offer lower than they were asking right now, but it's been a week. Has anything changed?
Okay.
No? Okay, sweet. Have you found anything else that fits our criteria? You may forget. We're looking for 3 2s over
Mhm.
1,300 square feet. We want to add some value to them because I'm trying to sell this thing for 300,000. No?
Okay.
Okay, sweet. I'll call you back in a couple weeks. Keep me in mind though, Shirley. Right?
Mm.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I got you.
let me know if you have any questions.
All right, I will.
Yeah. I forget. Are we texting or Facebook Messenger? How if you
I was messaging you.
okay.
I'll
Yeah,
message you.
if you have a conversation with somebody, you feel stuck for
Mhm.
whatever reason, or if you're like, hey, this person's ready to take
Okay.
our offer, message
Mhm.
me so we can dive into it. I want to get you a
Okay.
deal.